President Bush is preparing to sign the Secure Fence Act tomorrow at the White House. It'll be the most visible step in his immigration law reform that'll jumpstart the building of a 700-mile fence along the Mexican border. But will it really solve the problem? With their views here, Steve Eichler, attorney and executive director of the Minuteman Project, is taking upon itself the role of patrolling the border. Also joining us is Francisco Hernandez, an immigration attorney who is against the fence. Good afternoon to both of you. Steve, let's start with you.
Good.
These immigrants who are braving all sorts of incredibly dangerous situations to come into our country, can we really expect that they would be even more determined to find a new way to get across this fence, either over it or under it?
Of course. Let's not forget that Mexico is pushing its young men and women into the desert and pushing all those wonderful people north. And once they cross our border, they become, well, criminals. And that's an unfortunate thing.
What do you mean by pushing?
It means that instead of fixing the issues in Mexico and other nations in Central America, they find it easier to push their people, to rid their young people from their country and send them to the United States. And that's a terrible thing. Mexico deserves to be able to have the Mexican dream, to be able to have their people stay home and build their nation, not rid themselves of their youth.
Francisco, I can only assume that you disagree with at least part of that, which is they all come across and become criminals, correct?
Well, Melissa, I agree with Mr. Eichler, at least in the term that he chose to use the term wonderful people. Thank you for that. But unfortunately, it's not necessarily a push, it is a pull. As long as there is the American dream and our economy feeds the need for these jobs, and these folks come here to make a living, to give their families a better living for themselves and prosper, they're going to find a way to come across. What people forget is that no one wants illegal immigration. Nobody. It just causes dangerous situations, just as Mr. Eichler has pointed out. But as long as our economy needs these folks, these workers, to come over here at all levels, there's going to be people who find their way to come across. It is the American dream that's pulling these people here, and I'm proud of that.
Steve,
it is not necessarily Mexico pushing them.
Steve, let's talk about the current
Melissa.
battle, though, within the Border Patrol itself. Today's LA Times looks at a bribery situation apparently taking place on the border, even reaching into the FBI, it says, with internal problems like this. How much confidence can the public have that in a fence that it's all that it's needed to stop illegal immigration?
Well, that's a two-pronged question. First of all, the confidence of the United States citizen is actually very high that we can solve the problem. But when the President of the United States says that it's okay for people to break the law because they come here to do the work Americans can't do, it's a license to commit crimes. Now, when that filters down to the working class, now it's okay to cheat on the job or okay to take a bribe. That's the problem.
Will the fence work or not? And what is the border control situation? Is there enough patrols, for instance?
No, we need a 500% increase in the Border Patrol budget, and the fence will work, and it's a significant statement that the federal government is making in a turnaround that they are doing to say to the over 80% of the people in the United States that they will take action. And we address that on our website at MinutemanProject.com.
Francisco, do you believe that illegal immigration is a problem? And if so, what do you think the solution is?
Well, the wall certainly is just a political stiff arm to an economic issue. Guys, let's face it, the jobs are here. People are going to come. The wall will not do a thing other than send a bad message to our closest neighbor, just like as if we were to put it in Canada. It is the wrong thing to do. Quite frankly, I'm going on the record, it won't be built. It is a political issue 2 weeks before the general election. It's being pushed. The budget has even been allocated to President Bush's discretion to use, and the president is not behind this wall. This wall is being used completely for political purposes 2 weeks before election. Let's call it what it is.
Steve, do you agree?
No.
Do you think it'll get built?
Absolutely, it'll be built, and it's a positive statement that we are taking as a nation to the rest of the world, that we are taking a strong statement that we will not tolerate the invasion of the United States from all the other nations who think that they can skirt the system.
All right, Steve Eichler and Francisco Hernandez, thanks to both of you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.